Well, also joining me is our political correspondent, Tom Harwood, who's in Downing Street. The anti-strike legislation will have its second reading in Parliament. Tom, is the government focusing on that rather than negotiations?
I think the government would say it's trying to do both. The government has really changed tack in the new year. The first week back, we saw a host of different departments invite different union representatives to their departments in order to sit down and have either direct discussions or what is described as facilitating discussions. For example, the train companies where the government isn't the direct employer but is trying to facilitate those discussions. The government has had a pretty consistent line over the course of these negotiations, however, which is that they don't want to embed inflation in the long term. The government argues that if they give double-digit pay increases to a lot of these sectors, that embeds the high inflation that we've seen over the past few months and would make price rises higher for longer. However, of course, on the other side of the ledger, you have employees who are struggling with the cost of living, particularly at the lower end of the spectrum. But looking specifically at these minimum service levels, or cabinet ministers have begun to brand them. This is something that the Conservative Party has really united around. Last night they passed their first hurdle in Parliament. Now there's still a long legislative journey to go, not least through the House of Lords, in which the Conservative Party does not have a majority. But in the House of Commons, this is something that has managed to unite the Conservative Party. Many Conservative MPs feeling quite relieved in the way that the vote went last night. A strong argument from the government in terms of saying that these sort of levels of minimum service, there's legislation for this in civilised, developed countries like Spain, like France, like Italy, and saying that we're really catching up with where many European countries are already with how they handle strikes through this sort of legislation.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of other countries have exactly just that. Tom Harwood, thank you very much.